What's going on, YouTube? My name is Zach with Android Digest, and today I'm talking about a laptop, and this laptop, it integrates so well with Android, and that is the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360. Now, you may notice some fingerprints and things like that, and that's because I'm going to be honest with what this device looks like. I'm not just going to pretty it up in every single close-up I have, so you might see some fingerprints, you might see some things in close-ups that you might just wonder about, and I'm going to be completely honest about things that a lot of reviewers honestly aren't saying about this laptop, but I'm also going to talk about the positives because I think this laptop is still a laptop that a lot of you should really consider buying. So with all that being said, let's get straight into this review and let's get it going. Alright, so I have the Book Pro 360 here, and this is an interesting laptop. I think it starts out at an interesting price. It starts out at $1,400. That is for the i7 model with 16 gig of RAM. It's still $1,200 if you want to get the model with only 8 gigabytes of RAM. So this comes with an 11th gen i7 processor, and that's both models of this laptop, and it does also come in two different colors. That's Mystic Blue, or you have Mystic Bronze, which is a little bit of a gold color, but it also looks a little bit pink, at least from what I see. But one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to review this laptop is not only the awesome Android integration, which really makes it a good fit for this channel, but also I noticed the prices are going down a lot. And I've seen this device on sale for $100 or $200 off, and then I've also seen awesome educational discounts. So you do need a student email, just any EDU email will work, and you could sign up for those student deals at Samsung. A lot of us are going to start seeing more and more sales on this laptop. So when we look at this laptop and we look at all of this laptop and especially the design, I think you'll see some things that on one end you really shouldn't see for any device even under $1,000. They're just poor decisions. But on the other end, you're going to see something so amazing about this laptop. For one, if you look at this laptop's design, you're going to see a super thin laptop. It's like 2.5 pounds or just under that, like 2.3 pounds actually. So you're going to see two USB-C ports. On this side, you're going to see one USB-C port. On this side, you're also going to see a headphone jack and an SD card slot. And this device, it's made of all aluminum. You're going to see speakers here on the bottom. This is right here for the fans to vent out, and here as well. You're going to see a really sturdy looking laptop and made of aluminum and super light. I haven't seen a lot of laptops that can keep such a small frame and be so lightweight at the same time while being made of aluminum as well. It's very, very impressive. And whenever you open it up as well, you're going to notice the trackpad. The trackpad was plenty big enough for me, so I really did like this trackpad. Also, the keyboard's going to have some mixed reviews. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it. I thought it was good, but not great, so I enjoyed using it. The travel isn't super good, but it was still good enough for me. So overall, I really love this design. I am the type of person who wants a light laptop. I want to bring it on the go with me, so I was really impressed with this. You also have a fingerprint sensor here as well. And when you look at all those things, you're going to say, wow, that's a great design, and it really is. And I'm telling you, I do not see many laptops at all that dip below $1,000 that have a design like this. And we also see similar things when we look at the display. You see a lot of great things with the display. It is AMOLED. Now, some people wanted a 2K or a 4K screen. So again, there are minor things to complain about. But when we look at this AMOLED screen, especially on this 13-inch version, I didn't notice any pixels or any weird things. It didn't look bad. In fact, AMOLED looks amazing, and under $1,000, you do not see a lot of laptops with AMOLED. Now, the brightness was middling, it was okay, it was just under 300 nits of brightness. It's supposedly supposed to have over 300 nits. I've seen some people say 370, but realistically, most people measured it around 300 nits of brightness. Now, AMOLED can typically look a little brighter just naturally, and whenever I saw this screen, it looked great. Now, you might turn up your brightness a little bit, but I don't think most people are going to have an issue with this screen. In fact, overall, it's a really good display with great clear colors, and it looks great for consuming media. And having this 360-degree hinge on this specific model, it was very welcoming because not only can you see great content, but you could also use an S Pen. That's right, this comes with an S Pen. It's not an S Pen that just attaches inside the device. So it is a normal, when I say normal, I mean it's more similar to a normal pen or a normal pencil. So it's not one of those super small thin ones that you could barely hold on to. So on one end, I really like that. It actually magnetizes to the back of this device here, which is really, really great. But on the other end, you do have to keep in mind that you don't store it inside the device, so it could be easy to lose if you're not careful. So I know I haven't really said a lot of negative things about this laptop, and I've got a few negatives, don't you worry. But performance, it is not one of those things at all. This device is very, very quick. It's got an 11th gen i7 processor. You also have two versions again of this laptop, one with 8 gigs of RAM and one with 16 gigs of RAM. And both of these models, whether it was 8 gigs or 16 gigs of RAM, they both perform very, very well. I recommend 16 gigs of RAM if you're going to do video editing or something that's going to be a little bit heavier. Even some of you would probably want more RAM than that, honestly, but it is what it is. It's non-upgradable. You can't upgrade the NVMe storage. One model, the original model, comes with 256 gigs of storage. That's the one with 8 gigabytes of RAM. And you have the second model. That model does come with 512 gigabytes of NVMe SSD storage. And both models are upgradable as far as storage, but you can't upgrade anything else outside of that. So it performs very well. It's way up to my expectations. And the Thunderbolt, I've got to say, when we look at Thunderbolt, I'm so glad this laptop has it because it was so fast with file transfers. And even gaming, look, this is not a gaming machine. Remember, how can you fit a graphics card into this little thing, right? It's just going to have integrated XE graphics, but it still does a good job with light games. I'm talking things like Fortnite. It could play on low or medium settings. Medium settings for most people should be fine. And it could play games like MMOs and things like that on medium or high settings at times. Or older games like Skyrim should work okay on this laptop. But this is not a gaming machine, but it's going to be very fast for basic productivity tasks, everything you're doing for school, stuff like that. It's going to be very, very fast. And this laptop is going to be very comparable to similar light laptops as far as performance. It did a really good job. Now, battery life is very good on this laptop as well. I would say it's around 8 to 12 hours depending on what you do. I think most people are going to get around 8 to 10 hours, honestly. This has good battery life. It's a 63 watt hour battery in this 13-inch model. Again, it could be better. I think it would be even worse if you had a 2 or 4K display like some people really wanted. So I think the battery life is good in this laptop. Keep in mind, it is very small, very lightweight. They wanted to make it portable, but they did include a big battery in it. It's just that day to day, whenever you're pushing it, whenever you are using it to its full potential, you could drain the battery even more than that, especially if you're gaming. You might only get 4 or 6 hours doing things like gaming or doing things like Zoom, things like that. But in my testing, the battery was good. Not great, but still pretty good overall. All right, so let's look at the totality of this device, right? This device has a great display. It has a really awesome build on the laptop. And the other thing that this device has is great performance. It's got Thunderbolt, it's got an AMOLED display, and yeah, it's not the brightest display in the world, but it still looks really good. It's crisp and clear. And if you could get this device under $1,000, that's all amazing. So you might be wondering, what is there to dislike about this device? One thing I noticed is that this device creaks a little bit, and by that I mean this device is so thin, so lightweight, that naturally when you put your hands on the palm rest, whenever you're actually resting your palms on the keyboard deck between the trackpad on the left and right side, you might notice some minor noises whenever you're resting your palms, whenever you grab the laptop by the corners. Things like that are going to make a little bit of noise, or when you're moving your palms back and forth. So you are going to notice some minor noises. Again, these are minor, these aren't a major thing, but some of you are going to be a little bit annoyed by that, and that could just be my device. It is very possible. It's just me. I haven't heard this really anywhere else online. I've been trying to research it. It was really just my device, at least, that was having some minor noises. I just think the device is so lightweight that naturally whenever you pick it up and press down, since there is a little bit of give in the device, a little bit of give in the keyboard deck, I just think you hear a couple minor things as you're grabbing it. So that's one thing. Another thing that's more of a build quality issue is these little feet here, and I don't really like these because my Flex 2 Alpha did not have this issue, but this is having these little feet just pop out, which is very, very strange. You can see they're all secure right now on my laptop, and what I noticed as soon as I got it out of the box, one of the weirdest things, one of the feet was just halfway popped out, and there was adhesive on that foot, and the adhesive was worn down, which really did not make a lot of sense to me. And there was another YouTuber named Mike O'Brien who noticed 2 of his little feet. They were actually both worn down and they kept popping out. You may notice the same thing as well. You can just put a little bit of adhesive you could buy on Amazon, like 1 or 2 millimeter adhesive for smartphones. You could heat it up a little bit. and you should be able to put it on there and you should be able to repair it on your own. It should be a minor thing. But I don't know if you're going to have that issue because me and one other YouTuber did. So who knows? We may have a lot of these getting shipped out with little defective feet here. So just keep that in mind. You don't need them, but it does help your laptop to stop sliding around. So between the creakiness, those two things bothered me a little bit. I really did not like that. And this device, you could see again, it does attract fingerprints. This specific color at least does attract some fingerprints. So that's one thing you need to keep in mind. So overall, those are some minor things, but they may be enough. If you're spending $1,000, you don't want to have to deal with things like that. And maybe you won't, right? I don't know if it was just me that's going to have some of those issues or if it's going to pass on to other BookPro 360s. But when I look at the totality, even if you have those minor issues, first off, you have to ask yourself, are those defects enough to keep me from buying it? And if they aren't, then you have to go to the next step and ask yourself, okay, so do I like this laptop and is it on sale? If you see it at full retail price, I would just wait a little bit because I've seen a lot of sales, whether it's through student discounts or whether it's just going on sale naturally. Best Buy and Samsung both put this on sale $100 or $200 off all the time. So if you see this on sale for a few $100 off and you have a student discount, that's going to even bring it down even more, at least through Samsung's website. Well, then yes, I would highly recommend this laptop, assuming you're okay with the cons I mentioned. Now, I'm not an S Pen Pro, right? This S Pen, it should work just fine. You should enjoy it. And this device overall, I think you're going to enjoy it quite a bit, right? I think it's a great device. It performs good. It looks good. But I think if you're in the mid-range market, right? If you're looking for a laptop between $600, maybe $800, I would look at the Flex 2 Alpha, which it doesn't charge with USB-C, but it has almost all the features that this has, and it has that same Samsung integration. So that's one thing I didn't even talk about so far, is that this device does integrate so well with Samsung, and with Samsung phones, you could quickly share things from your Samsung phone. You could also link up quite a few things to share files or do a lot of cool things. You could even transfer things with Samsung Smart Switch. So there's all these great Samsung apps that are on this device that really are very, very useful. And you could also integrate any other Android phone with a Your Phone app. And this, of course, will work with Windows 11 as well. There's so many things to like about this laptop. I think it is worth buying. I would highly recommend it. If and only if you are okay with some of those cons. And I've got to admit, I'm not. And my wife says I'm crazy, I'm OCD, and that I really should keep this device because it's not a big deal. And I think most people are going to agree with her, honestly. But me, I'm a techie who likes to try new things every week anyway. So I'm going to try something else. But this device, for most people, I think should really be considered. Again, as long as you're okay with some minor cons. And as long as you find it for a great price. And if you do, man, for this price, I don't know if you're going to get a better screen with better performance, with Thunderbolt and all these fun things, because it's a great device. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please, please like this video. Give me a sub. It would mean a lot to my channel. And you can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/digestandroid. I really need a lot of Android fans on there. It really does help me out. And I share a lot of great Android content and also other tech content in the world as well. Use the links in the description, which really does help me out. It really does. I am an affiliate with some of these companies, but as you could tell, I always keep it real. I let you know the pros and the cons. I'm not afraid to show off a device with a bunch of fingerprints just to help you know what a device looks like, right? So please help me out in that way. Check out some more videos, and I hope you have a great day and a great week in these crazy, crazy times.